Okay, my dear friends, we have discussed in the last class about the offer, and we have started with the condition that we have already discussed the first topic with respect to how the contract is formed, and then we have discussed that offer and acceptance is one of the essential which is required for the formation of the contract. And when we talk about the contract originates, or the definition of contract is being said as agreement enforceable by law, and the origin of the agreement is from offer and acceptance. And when we talk about offer and acceptance, it means that the offer must satisfy the conditions of valid offer, and acceptance must satisfy the condition of valid acceptance. So in coming lecture, we are going to discuss कि कौन कौन से essentials हैं जो एक ऑफर को वैलिड ऑफर बनाते हैं, और कौन कौन से essentials हैं जो एक एक्सेप्टेंस को वैलिड एक्सेप्टेंस बनाते हैं. तो अगर एक ऑफर वैलिड ऑफर के फॉर्म में और एक एक्सेप्टेंस वैलिड एक्सेप्टेंस के फॉर्म में एग्जिस्ट करेगी, तभी वो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट को राइज देगी. एंड ऑल्सो वी हैव डिस्कस that keeping all the other essential constant, we consider that they are present in the particular promise. So we are focusing on validity of offer and acceptance. Then we continued with the meaning of offer, that where a person shows his willingness to do or not to do something with a view to obtain assent of that other, then it is said an offer is being made. So we have discussed that there should be expression of willingness, there should be a subject matter which can be in form of to do something or in form of not to do something, and this particular offer is to be made to the other party, and the intention of the party is not to just showing his intention that offer will be made, or just showing his thought, but it should have been made with an intent to do that thing, and also to obtain yes from the other party. And another essential we have discussed is that the offer must give rise to the legal relationship. The parties, whenever they have given the promise, the intention of the parties should be to be bound by the legal relationship, and it should give rise to the legal obligation. And the details with example, we have discussed the case of Balfour versus Balfour. Then we have discussed about the details of the case study. Then we have discussed the important part is that an offer must be distinguished from invitation to offer, wherein we have discussed one thing I would like to share here is one moment, that when we talk about an offer, then in that particular situation, the offer once accepted, one second, it's not showing me the cursor. Give me a second. Let me close it and let me get back. Oh, I'm sorry. What mistake I have made is that I have missed something to be connected. That's why I was saying that why it is not working. Yeah, got it. So are you able to see the screen now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So we were discussing about the concept of offer acceptance. So wherein when we talk about the formation of the contract, so we say that if there is an offer and this offer satisfy all the condition and it is being accepted, so it means it is going to give rise to the legal obligation. ठीक है। लीगल ऑब्लिगेशन मींस कि वो एक कॉन्ट्रैक्ट के फॉर्म में एग्जिस्ट करता है। और इसका एक स्टेटमेंट होती है दैट एन एक्सेप्टेंस टू द ऑफर, an acceptance to an offer is like a matchstick to the gunpowder of the train. So what does it mean? It means that if there is the gunpowder of a train, nowadays we are having the electric trains, etc., and the other technology is being used. But the earlier days, or even nowadays, certain trains are run by on fuel, and this fuel is known as the gunpowder. And when we talk about the matchstick, so it means that once this gunpowder is burnt, or once this particular gunpowder is matchstick is being used, so in that case, it means that offer is accepted. So it has given rise to the contract, and once the contract is there, then there is a legal obligation. तो इसका मतलब हो गया कि अगर आपकी ऑफर वैलिड ऑफर है और वो आपकी एक्सेप्ट हो गई, तो उसमें you cannot take your steps back. Otherwise you'll have to face the consequences of not fulfilling your obligation. तो उस सिचुएशन में अगर वो एक पर्टिकुलर सिचुएशन कॉन्ट्रैक्ट के फॉर्म में एग्जिस्ट हो गई है, तो उस फॉर्म में यू आर बाउंड टू परफॉर्म. So it means कि अगर आप परफॉर्म नहीं करते हो, the other party has right to go to court of law. So in this case we have to understand that once when we say that offer is different from invitation to offer, तो उसका मीनिंग क्या है कि अगर आपकी ऑफर जो है, if there is an invitation to offer, तो अगर आप उस invitation को accept कर रहे हो, so when you are accepting this invitation, so this acceptance is not the acceptance of the offer, this acceptance is acceptance of invitation. And once you have accepted the invitation, it means you have made the offer. Now this offer is to be accepted for the formation of the contract. So it means कि contract आपका इस स्टेज पे नहीं होगा, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट आपका इस स्टेज पे होगा. सो ये जब आपकी स्टेज आएगी, वो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट के फॉर्म में एग्जिस्ट होगा, तो वहां पर लीगल ऑब्लिगेशन बनेगी, और लीगल ऑब्लिगेशन बनेगी तो इट मींस यू आर बाउंड टू परफॉर्म. सो इफ देयर इज इनविटेशन टू ऑफर, so acceptance of invitation to offer is doesn't give rise to a contract. तो ये बहुत बार क्वेश्चन और सिचुएशन आपकी केस लॉ में और क्वेरी में आ जाती है. तो देयर इज पॉसिबिलिटी दैट इफ यू गेट द एमसीक्यूज और द शॉर्ट आंसर क्वेश्चन, तो उस केस में दिस कैन बी आस्क्ड that invitation to offer is an offer or not, or after accepting the invitation to offer gives rise to a contract, or there can be certain situation or case study can be given wherein the similar circumstances you have to face. So I hope this point is clear to all of you. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so the cases or the examples we have already discussed. Just give me a second. Yeah. So in this case, we have to understand. Then we have already discussed these things. So let's move to the essential. About the express implied offer we have discussed. Specific और general offer अभी हम आज की क्लास में discuss करेंगे. Then let's move to the other essential. Yeah. The another essential is an offer must be distinguished from a mere declaration of intention. When we talk about mere declaration of intention means offer will be made in near future. राइट. सो इट मीन्स कि ऑफर आपने अभी नहीं की है. तो अगर अभी ऑफर आपकी एग्जिस्ट ही नहीं कर रही है, तो हाउ इट कैन बी एक्सेप्टेड? सो देयर कैन बी नो एक्सेप्टेंस. और इफ देयर इज नो ऑफर, नो एक्सेप्टेंस, देयर इज नो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट. सो इस केस में हमें क्या समझना है? दैट वंस फर्स्ट वी हैव डिस्कस दैट ऑन ऑफर must be distinguished from invitation to offer. Second one is that it must be distinguished from a mere declaration of intention. So, where one party is just making a statement, just sharing his intention, so it does not mean that an offer is being made. So, just declaration of intention does not give rise to a valid offer. So, here the case law, very famous case law is there with the in the name of Farina versus Vickers. In this case law, what happened? That person has, shared his intention that whosoever will marry my daughter, so he has the intention that whatever would be left after the death of his wife, it will be given to the son-in-law. So in this case, from this particular statement, the son-in-law, married his daughter and has claimed the money. But it was held that there was no contract, reason being that there was just a declaration of intention, there was no offer. So just accepting the intention or on that particular statement where the offer is not there. So in absence of an offer, there cannot be acceptance. And in this particular situation, it will not give rise to a contract. Is this particular point clear to all of you?
Yes,
Yes?
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay. So now let's move to other essential. This we have already discussed. Okay. There is another essential, that is an offer must be communicated to the offeree. So the definition itself says that when a person signifies his willingness to do or not to do something to another. So it means that he is showing his willingness to another. So it this showing can be implied, this can be expressed, right? By using the words written or the spoken words. So in this case, the communication of the offer is very, very important. So if you have thought in your mind that you will be selling your car, or you want to sell your car to B, or you want to, join this particular job, or you wish to join this particular, office, in any of the situation, if the offer is not being communicated, it is not a valid offer. For example, the particular say cutoff has been finalized at 92%, but it has not been published, it has not been, shared, or it has not been communicated. So in this particular situation, what happens? That through some internal sources, the other person came to know that the cutoff has come to 92%, and the other person has filed a case in the court of law that I have 92% and I am eligible to get the admission. So it will not happen because it has not been communicated. So even if you have got the information from the different sources, but that communication is not regarded as valid. So one thing, that offer must be communicated. Second thing, there should be the valid communication by the parties. So it says that an offer is effective only when it is communicated to the offeree. Unless offer is known to the offeree, there can be no acceptance with respect to the contract. So this I am going to discuss this example. I'm going to discuss at later stage. That without the knowledge of the offer, there cannot be acceptance. Once we come to the acceptance question, this case law as well, I'm going to cover there. The if you say we can discuss it here. When we say that offer must be communicated, so it means offer must be in the knowledge of the person who is doing the activity or who is accepting. So knowledge of the person who have accepted the particular offer. तो अगर उसकी knowledge में नहीं है और बिना offer की knowledge के he has done something, so it will not be regarded as acceptance. It will not give rise to a contract क्योंकि पहले वो there should be an offer, then it should be followed by the acceptance. तो अगर आप accept पहले कर लेते हो और बाद में आपको offer की knowledge होती है तो it will not give rise to a valid offer. For example, in the case law of Lalman versus Gauri Dutt, Lalman Shukla versus Gauri Dutt, in this case, what happened that Mr. A son was missing and he has sent his servant to find out. And in the meantime, when the servant was out of the house to find the son, that time the father has announced a reward of 10,000 rupees that whosoever is going to find the son is going to get the reward. And luckily, the servant found the son and came back, and later he came to know about the offer and he has filed a case to claim the particular reward. The judgment said that there is a provision says that the offer must be in the knowledge of the person to whom it is being made and he has acted upon. Secondly, that the judgment of the particular situation says that he has not acted at that particular time, so there cannot be a contract. Yes, I think there is a query. Yes, Jasmine?
Yeah, ma'am. So basically, ma'am, if in this particular situation कोई और situation होती और बाद में claim नहीं कर सकता था कि that he was aware of the contract and therefore it is
No,
valid and he should get it.
no,
Can't
no.
the other person?
नहीं, इसमें evidences and other things we are going to discuss in detail in the specialized course of study. But here it is being said that whenever a person is acting or performing the duty or any obligation, it should be legal obligation out of the contract. तो अगर उसे पता ही नहीं है कि this particular activity or task is because that he is he'll be entitled for a reward, so there are intention is different, that when he went out to find the son, he was performing the duty as a servant, he was performing duty as a family member, or he was performing duty as a friend. He has not entered into the contract. But for example, some unknown person has seen the advertisement or have seen the particular poster where the reward is there, and out of in the view of that reward he has acted upon that, then in that case there is going to be a contract. So we are going to discuss, certain things are interlinked, so we are going to discuss about the journal offer as well, and we'll see that how these offers are being accepted. So that's why I told you कि once the offer is accepted तो वो contract हो गया, legal obligation हो गई. लेकिन साथ में ही उसके अंदर क्या सिचुएशन होती है कि अगर पर्टिकुलर सर्कमस्टांसेस के अंदर वो पर्टिकुलर ऑफर आपकी एक्सेप्ट ही नहीं हुई है और वो ऑफर आपकी उसकी नॉलेज में नहीं है, then in that case it cannot give rise to a contract. So in this case of Lalman Shukla versus Gauri Dutt, when the offer has been made, that point in time servant was not having the knowledge of that this particular activity or this particular task is going to get him some reward. So in this case it is not being accepted. तो अगर आपकी ऑफर कम्युनिकेट नहीं हुई, it cannot be accepted and it cannot give rise to a contract. तो इस पर्टिकुलर पेपर में और इस एक्ट में हमें यही समझना है कि किस सर्कमस्टांसेस में कॉन्ट्रैक्ट आएगा और किस सर्कमस्टांसेस में कॉन्ट्रैक्ट नहीं आएगा. And if it exists as a contract, then in that particular situation there is a legal obligation, we are bound to perform. And if it does not exist as a contract, the rule or remedies of Contract Act will not apply. Right? I hope it's clear now.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Thank you so much.
so let's continue. Now we go to the next rule, that is an offer may be journal or specific. So my friends, when we talk about the specific offer, so specific offer may be to a specific person, or it can require certain specific qualification, or there can be the specific category to whom the offer is being made. So in that case, the person to whom the offer is being made, that person can accept the offer. And when we talk about the journal offer, so journal offer means that the offer which is made to public in journal. And in this case, there can be as many contracts as many acceptance are there, and what are the rules of acceptance of journal offer. So there are requirements that the conditions required to accept the journal offer must be fulfilled. So let's discuss about the journal offer. When we talk about the journal offer, condition 1, that it is made to public in journal. Secondly, whosoever performs or fulfills the conditions of acceptance will be able to give rise to contract. Will be able to give rise to contract. So if you have seen the offer, but you have not acted upon, or you have not fulfilled the conditions of acceptance, then in that case, there is not going to be a contract. So as it happened in the case of Carler versus Carbolic Smoke Ball Company case. Carbolic Smoke Ball Company case. Now, in this case, what happened that when we talk about this particular case law, again, we have to discuss three things. One, facts or storyline. Second, which provisions this particular case law is related to, and what has been the judgment or the decision in the case, the particular case. So we are going to discuss the storyline first. Now, when we talk about the facts of this particular case, in this particular case, there was a pharma company, and this particular pharma company has, given an advertisement where they have claimed that if you are going to consume the smoke balls according to prescribed description or prescribed method, and you are caught by influenza, you will be entitled for a reward, right? Say the X amount, right? Now, in this particular case, what happened that when this particular advertisement have been given, say hypothetically 1,000 people have read this particular advertisement, then 100 people have purchased the smoke balls, and these 100 people have, out of these 100 people, only say 5 people have used it as per the prescribed method, and out of say 50 people have used it as per the prescribed method, and out of the 50 people, 5 people have got the influenza. I'm taking the rate of 10% everywhere, right? So in this particular case, out of these 5 people who have caught by influenza, Mrs. Carlyle was one of them, right? She filed a case, she has sued the company for the reward. And it was held by the court. The provisions are related to the journal offer, and it is being said that the journal offer is one which is being made to public in journal, and any person who fulfills the conditions of acceptance will be in the contract. Conditions to acceptance will give rise to contract, and in case of journal contract, there can be as many contract as many people fulfills the condition. So in this case, if 1,000 people have read the advertisement, only 100 people have purchased the smoke balls, but out of the 100 people, only 50 people have consumed it with the prescribed method, and out of 50 people, only 5 people have caught by influenza. Out of 5 people, Mrs. Carlyle filed a case for the same, for the claim of the reward. So this provision is related to the journal offer which has been accepted and which has given rise to a contract. And as per the judgment of the court of law, Mrs. Carlyle was entitled for the reward, right? So in this case, the journal offer says the journal offer is one which is made to public in journal. It is not to a specific person, and it can be accepted by any person in the public, but there are certain conditions of acceptance. These need to be fulfilled. Now, in this particular case, the case law of Harbhajan Lal versus Harcharan Lal, A lost his son and announced a reward of rupees 5,000 in a pamphlet, and B found the son, he is eligible for the reward. So it means that it is a journal offer, and this journal offer require certain tasks to be completed. And once this task is being completed, because you must have, came across the particular information about the loss of the particular person, but you have not acted upon. But in this case, B acted upon and he found the son, so he is eligible for the reward. So the journal offer can be to any person in public in journal, and the contract, there is going to be a contract, there is going to be the legal obligation. The person making an offer is bound to perform his part of contract, his part of obligation. Then there is another example of Carlyle versus Carbolic Smoke Ball Company, where £100 were offered to anyone who contracts influenza after using smoke balls 3 times a day for 2 weeks. So this case law we have already discussed. Any query with respect to the journal offer? There can be a difference about the in the journal offer versus specific offer, or there can be a short note on journal offer, or there can be a statement question that a journal offer once accepted gives rise to a contract discuss. So in that case we have to give all the conditions which I have explained to you right now, and how it being entered into a contract. All these things needs to be covered. Then another condition we have already discussed, that an offer may be express or implied. So express offer we have discussed, words spoken or written. Implied offer is by the conduct of the parties in the particular situation or circumstances of the case. So here a very important popular case law is being discussed, Upton Rural District Council versus Powell. In this particular case, what happened, that the fire to A's house was there, and he has called the district about the help, and they have sent the help, and they asked for the charges for providing such services. And A thought about that there has been certain, because this comes under a particular district and all, and it is going to be free, so it is not allowed. In this case, this there is an implied offer that once you are calling it for the services, so they will, the services or the person coming to help you will be paid as per the required amount or the fixed charges. So this case, there the circumstances of the case were there, that you have given a call to them and they have came to provide the services, so they'll have to be paid as well. So there is implied offer, which is once accepted by the course of conduct of the party, gives rise to a valid contract as well. Now, there is offer may be positive or negative. So we have discussed that this can be to do or not to do something. So not to do something is a valid subject matter. So when we talk about the valid subject matter, so it means that there is refraining something or abstinence from something is also a valid subject matter. So in this case, an offer can be with respect to do something, or can be to not to do something. So it doesn't mean that if the subject matter is refraining from something, or there is certain kind of restriction, so it will not be an offer or it will not give rise to a contract. No, this is both the offers are valid, be it to do something or not to do something. The next one is offer may be definite or standing offer. Definite offer means that once you have made an offer to the other person and you do not get a reply in a reasonable time period, this offer is over. And standing offer means that there is continuity of the particular offer to exist. For example, the particular sale is going on, or the particular, offer is being going on for a particular period. So in that case, there is going to be a standing offer. But definite offer, that which is being made for a definite purpose, or which is made to a definite person, or which is there for a specific time period, it is going to be the definite offer. So a standing offer can be also called as continuous offer. Then the offer should not contain a term the non-compliance of which would amount to acceptance. So इसमें इससे पहले ये वाला point discuss कर लेते हैं that an offer can be made subject to any terms and condition. तो जो हमारा offerer होता है वो एक powerful position में होता है. Powerful position में किस तरह से होता है that he can contain any terms and conditions. और अगर आपको वो मंजूर हैं तो आप एक्सेप्ट करो, अदरवाइज आप उसको रिजेक्ट कर दो. यू कैन एक्सेप्ट और यू कैन रिजेक्ट. यू कैन accept the same offer or you can reject the same offer, that depends upon you. लेकिन जो terms and conditions है वो कौन decide करेगा? वो offerer decide करेगा. So offer can be subject to any terms and conditions which are be it in terms of कि आपका consideration क्या होगा, आपका subject matter क्या होगा, कोई आप उसको accept कैसे करोगे, कोई एडवांस मनी आपने देनी है, डाउन पेमेंट देनी है, everything it is to be decided by the offerer. So in this case, the offerer is in a powerful position that whether a particular contract is to be performed and how it is to be performed. Along with this, another condition says the offer should not contain a term the non-compliance of which would amount to acceptance. It means कि आपकी valid offer बहुत सारी terms and conditions include कर सकती है, but it cannot include any term जिसके fulfillment ना होने से non-fulfillment जो है वो आपका acceptance माना जाए. Non-fulfillment of which would amount to acceptance. It will not be considered as valid offer. अगर वो ऐसी term include कर रही है कि अगर आप उसे fulfill नहीं करते हो तो वो non acceptance वो acceptance माना जाए. It will not give rise to the contract. For example, if A says that I am ready to sell my car to you for rupees 2 lakh, if you do not reply by today evening, I will consider that you are ready to buy my car. So it is not a valid offer. It will not give rise to a contract. And later on, B says that I have never said yes to the to buy your car, and A compels him to buy your car, and he sues in the court of law. The court of law will say no. It will not give rise to a contract because the particular offer contained a term the non-compliance of which amounts to acceptance. It will not give rise to a valid acceptance. It will not give rise to a valid offer as well. Is it clear? This particular point you can write in the chat box. Up till now, the point or the concept is clear to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So now we say the another condition is two identical or cross offer. For the formation of the contract, we say that there should be offer and acceptance. Okay. So if there is going to be offer plus offer, then it is not going to give rise to a contract. Right? So for an offer to be accepted, there should be acceptance of the same. So if you are making the identical offers without knowledge of the offer by the other person, then in that case, it will not give rise to a contract. For example, you have invited a particular tender and you have filled the particular tender. So in that case, you are also making an offer to sell the goods, and the other person have also asked for the quotation to file per requirement of certain goods. So in that case, these identical offers will not give rise to a contract. So that is not going to give rise to valid offer if there is a cross offers are being made. Is it clear up till now? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. Now, before going to the acceptance, let's discuss termination of offer. Termination of offer means that if there is an offer, it is to be accepted, right? And then it is going to give rise to a contract. But ऑफर एग्जिस्ट कर रही है and this offer has come to an end, and after that you are sending your acceptance, it will not give rise to contract, right? So termination of offer means that if a person have right to make an offer, the person has right to withdraw that offer as well, right? So in this case, one thing is that the termination on an offer comes to an end by notice of revocation. By notice of revocation means कि जब आपने offer दी और आपने वो offer withdraw की, so you have communicated that withdrawal as well. तो खाली आपने ऑफर ही कम्युनिकेट नहीं की, communication of revocation is also important. So this revocation is to be communicated. If it is a specific offer, so any mode can be used, and if it is a journal offer, then same mode should be used for the revocation. For example, अगर आपने एडवर्टाइजमेंट HT में दी है, हिंदुस्तान टाइम्स में दी है, तो आपको विड्रॉ भी हिंदुस्तान टाइम्स में करनी है, assuming that the readers of the same newspapers are same, who have read the newspaper earlier, so they are going to read the revocation as well. And in case of a specific offer, say if you have made the offer by letter and you are now making a phone call for withdrawal of that offer, it is valid. So offer can be revoked anytime before acceptance. So these things we are going to discuss at later stage when we are going to discuss about the what are the rules and timings of the revocation and communication, etc. So herein we just have to remember termination or lapse of offer, one of the mode is by notice of revocation, and second situation is by lapse of time. So if the offer is for a specific time period, then if you are not you have not accepted in this particular specific time period, after that specific time period the offer comes to an end. For example, the particular sale is till 30th of November, you have to submit your assignment by 7th of December, and even if it is written timing is written 12 p.m, so you have to submit it by 12 p.m, and if that timing is not mentioned, so it is by default 12 a.m of 7th December. So when the 8th December means it's when it's going to end. So you can challenge that this lapse of time is there. Similarly, if your admission is open and you are required to submit your documents by a particular date, so it means that particular date is the specific time period and you are bound to perform within that specific time period only. And if any specific time period is not given, then it should be a reasonable time period. And what is going to be a reasonable time period? It would differ from one situation to another, right? Then another rule is that an offer lapses by not being accepted in a mode prescribed. तो अगर ऑफर की टर्म और कंडीशन है कि वो एक प्रॉपर मोड में होना चाहिए, फॉर एग्जाम्पल इफ यू आई हैव टू एक्सेप्ट द ऑफर, you have to accept it on the portal, you have to click on the accept button, or you have to apply the college name, so it means the mode is prescribed. And if you are making a phone call and saying that yes, my cutoff has come and I am ready to take admission in the particular course, will that be acceptable, or will this give rise to a valid contract? Yes or no?
No.
नो अगर आप सपोज कीजिए आपके कट ऑफ आ गई एक पर्टिकुलर कट ऑफ में लिस्ट में, और आप फोन कॉल करके अथॉरिटीज को और इवन टू द प्रिंसिपल यू से दैट माय कट ऑफ हैज कम and I am willing to take admission, so you process my case, will it be processed? Or if it is not processed, so will you have any legal right to file a case against the authorities? No, because it is not in the mode prescribed. So if the mode is prescribed for the acceptance of the offer, and if the offer is not being accepted in the mode prescribed, the offer lapses by not being accepted in the mode prescribed. Then another condition is that offer lapses by death or insanity of offerer or offeree before acceptance. So there is void contract में हमने discuss किया था if you remember, the subsequent impossibility of performance in terms of physical impossibility, in terms of legal impossibility. Now, in this case, before acceptance, because offer once accepted becomes the contract, right? But अगर contract बनने से पहले ही there exists the impossibility of performance, ठीक है, सो उस केस में वो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट वैलिड कॉन्ट्रैक्ट को राइज नहीं देगा. इज इट क्लियर that in case if there is death or insanity of offerer or offeree before acceptance, then in that case it will not give rise to a contract because there is impossibility of performance due to destruction of subject matter or due to incapacity, physical incapacity of parties to perform the contract. But अगर for example ये offer accept हो गई होती और it must have existed in form of contract, तो उसके बाद अगर ऑफरर या ऑफरी में से किसी की डेथ हो जाती है या इंसानिटी हो जाती है, तो उस केस में इट वुड डिपेंड अपॉन कि वो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट जो है वो पर्सनल सर्विसेज के नेचर का है और किसी और सर्विसेज के नेचर का है. तो अगर पर्सनल सर्विसेज के नेचर का है तो वो वॉइड कॉन्ट्रैक्ट बन जाएगा कि द पर्टिकुलर कॉन्ट्रैक्ट विच वाज enforceable by law at the beginning, but due to change of circumstances, subsequent illegality or impossibility of performance, it ceases to be enforced by law. Hence, it is called as a void contract. But अगर वो other situation में होगा, तो जैसे आपके legal representatives जो हैं, वो आपका दूसरे कॉन्ट्रैक्ट को परफॉर्म कर रहे हैं, उसी तरह वो उस कॉन्ट्रैक्ट को भी परफॉर्म करेंगे, राइट? तो अगर वो पर्सनल नेचर का है, one person is going to work as an artist or one person is going to marry the other person or the services of personal nature are there, so in that case it will become void contract. But अगर वो initial stage पे ही contract बने बिना before acceptance अगर उसके अंदर impossibility of performance आ जाता है, तो उस situation के अंदर वो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट नहीं बनेगा. देयर इज गोइंग टू बी लैप्स ऑफ ऑफर एंड इफ देयर इज नो ऑफर देयर इज नो एक्सेप्टेंस and if there is no offer, no acceptance, there is no contract. If there is no contract, there is no legal obligation, and if there is no legal obligation, so we are not bound to perform, right? Yes, no, maybe.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And the last situation is that if there is counter offer made by the offeree, so it means if there is certain kind of negotiation or the other person have made a new offer instead of an offer, so it is going to give end to the original offer. Similarly, अगर कोई ऐसी कंडीशन है जो एक्सेप्टेंस से पहले फुलफिल करनी है, अगर हम वो फुलफिल नहीं करते हैं तब भी आपकी ऑफर रिवोक हो जाती है और सब्सिक्वेंट इलीगैलिटी और डिस्ट्रक्शन ऑफ सब्जेक्ट मैटर के कारण भी आपकी ऑफर रिवोक हो जाती है. इस केस में फॉर एग्जांपल you have accepted the particular or you have been given the offer to get admission subject to certain eligibility condition, but अगर आप वो eligibility conditions fulfill नहीं करते हो या conditions present to acceptance fulfill नहीं करते हो, तो there is no contract. So for example, you have accepted the invitation to offer, you have made an offer for the admission, and after fulfilling all the conditions, there is requirement of payment of fee. That is the precedent or condition required of for acceptance. So in that case, if you have not made the payment of fee and you have done all the other situations or work, then in that particular circumstance, it will not give rise to a valid contract, right? So about acceptance, we are going to start in the next class, right? I hope it is whatever we have discussed today is clear to all of you. And if you have any doubts, you can note down your doubts and we can